and welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here, hi, I'm Misha. If you're a returning subscriber, hi! And if you're someone who just watches but never subscribes, hit that subscribe button. There's something obviously here that you like. So today we're going to talk about all of the years that I've been watching YouTube, and this is what. If you couldn't tell by the title, these are all the things that I bought because of YouTube that YouTube no longer talks about. So before TikTok, YouTube was how we got all of our entertainment for all of you youngsters out there. And I would say YouTube 10 years ago is completely different than obviously YouTube now. And I've been watching it for quite some time, probably since high school. So I have bought a few things because YouTube had it everywhere. Like every influencer was doing it, everybody was talking about it. And I bought things. And we're going to talk about those things that I bought. And we're going to talk if we still use them, if they were actually, you know. So I have a stack over here. Bear with me a little bit. I don't really know if I want to do this into, I'm just going to grab stuff and we're going to talk about it. That's how we're going to do it. So let's get into this. The first thing that I feel I have to mention, I obviously have it in my hand, Kat Von D, or it's KVD now, Lolita. Oh my gosh, does everybody remember when you had to have Lolita? You had to wear Lolita. It was flattering on every skin type. Everybody had to have it. It was amazing. Well, yeah, I bought it. I have it. I actually really like Kat Von D's lipsticks. The only thing is, you know, you can't put it somewhere and then let it dry because it'll never come off. So, do love, still have, still use. The next thing I'm going to be talking about is the Balm. Cosmetics. Do you remember when Mary Lou the Luminizer came out? Oh my gosh, everybody had this. Like, this is where highlighting, I feel like, shot through, because everybody had this highlighter. Yes, this is super old. Yes, this is probably expired. Yes, I had to dig through a bunch of things to find this old one, but everybody had it. I remember it used to be sold out everywhere. It was just on everybody's cheekbones, everywhere. So the next thing that I'm going to be talking about, heatless curler. Obviously, you guys have seen me do a few heatless curls on my channel. We're going to talk about the one that was just everywhere for some time. The rods. The Hot Tool rods. I mean, obviously, people still use these. They're still on YouTube. But these were like the shiz. Do you remember, like, everybody was curling their hair with these? The Hot Rod Professionals or whatever. I bought these, like, how old am I? Like, I would say at least 9 years ago. And I still have them. I still use them. I still actually really like these. I haven't used them in a little while, though, because they were in the back of my little cabinet thing. So, but I do like them. Obviously, 9 years, I've gotten some really good use out of them. They do, like, have little folds or whatever, but good, solid product. Honestly, I don't even remember what I paid for them. That's how long it's been. But these were everywhere for some time. And I mean, there's so many heatless methods now, like heatless curl methods all over YouTube. But these were the original. Do you remember these? Just saying. The next thing I'm going to be talking about is Sonia Koshka. I'm not going to say that right. Her makeup bags. Do you remember when everybody was like, you have to carry your makeup in these bags? And it's a Target brand, I think. Or, well, they sell them at Target. Now, I remember they had so many of, like, these high fashion makeup bags that you could just put your makeup in and take everywhere. And they have, like, all these compartments and all this storage and stuff and, like, little Velcro things. Look, I'm pretty sure I paid, like, 50 bucks for this bag, or, like, 40 or 50 bucks. Probably about, like, 7 or 8 years ago. I still have it because I still get a lot of use out of it. Obviously, you guys know I used to live over there in Florida, so whenever I would travel, I pack my makeup into here and I take it. It is really good. Pretty, like, long lasting. This baby's seen some things. So, I'm glad YouTube made me buy this one, actually. That and the Kat Von D. Super glad. Okay, this next one, you're not even going to be surprised. If I made this and this wasn't on here, you would have been surprised. But you're not going to be surprised because everybody has a naked palette, whether it's the first, the second, or the third. Everybody has a makeup palette. Like, Urban Decay was the staple back in the day. Do you remember that? Like, this was, okay, so this is way past expired. This baby is beat up and ugly inside. You don't want to see it. It doesn't even close right. But this was my first really big makeup purchase. So my mom doesn't really wear makeup because she's naturally beautiful and she doesn't have to. So I got into makeup obviously through YouTube, like a lot of people did. And this was everything. Like, this was what everybody had. Everybody carried this. And oh my gosh, what was it? The primer potions. Do you remember the primer potions back in the day? I don't even think that I have one anymore. I think I threw them all out because, you know, they got old and crusty. You know what? If I did have one, it would be in here. What the heck? I have a foundation in here. Okay, you know what? I really got to clean this bag out more. I just bought this foundation thinking that I lost it. Okay, well, it's clearly not in here. I don't know. Can I talk about it even if I don't have the product? You know, screw it. We're in here. We're going to talk about it even though I don't have it. So, do you remember the original primer potions by Urban Decay that had like that cool little like Aladdin shape and you could like twist a little top off and it had like a little doe foot? It had like a little doe. I had to look at it to remember what it's called. Don't judge me. It had a little doe foot and you would like rub it on your eyes before you do it. Your naked palette because it made it last so long. Oh my god, that takes me back. Oh, this thing though, first big purchase that I made towards makeup. This is the start of my obsession. I'm not gonna lie to you. $56, I think it was back then. I think it might have been 60 bucks. I don't know. I can't let this thing go more out of nostalgia than anything else. This was like the start. Oh god, that's, yeah. Oh my gosh. I still have the little brush in here. I never used this brush. Like, it's still brand new. I don't know. I just used the colors. God. And the Naked 3 palette, I feel like when this thing does not even close. I feel like I got it also for the fact that it was more my style at that time. It was more of like those nude kind of relaxed tones instead of that like sharp smoky eyes. Smoky eyes were my thing for like a millisecond, but this was more of like my jam. So obviously Naked. I mean, Urban Decay back then, do you remember? I don't know how old you guys are, but let me age myself real quick. Do you remember being in high school and like coming out? Urban Decay was everything. They had the best launches, the best products. They had the Naked palettes. Like, they were literally just it. Like, they were it. I know a lot of people talk about MAC Cosmetics, but I don't know if it was just like the area that I was in. MAC Cosmetics wasn't it for us. Like, Urban Decay. Like, everybody had Urban Decay. So, I'm really gonna look into them. Now I'm curious to what they're working on now. Okay, this next thing. I didn't get Cilla Sponge. I clearly haven't used it, but do you remember when we're gonna pretend like this isn't still in the packaging, okay? But do you remember when Cilla Sponge was everywhere? Everybody was using them. They were this new revolutionary way to like do your makeup where it was gonna use way less product, be more hypoallergenic, and it was just gonna it was going to be everything. Do you remember that, you guys? I think the first ones that came out were really expensive. I didn't get that one. I waited for like a few years and then I got this one and I still haven't used it. So we will, one day I'll use that and then I'll give my opinion. So let's go into the hair products. The first one, tried and true, the Conair. This wand, do you remember when this was everywhere? Where it was like this, like fatter into the skinny. So I love this. I think I have two, actually. I'm not sure how that happened, but I have two. So I love this thing. Like, personally, I still use it. YouTube, it was everywhere for a while. It made me buy it. And I think that I couldn't live without it because sometimes I just want to touch up curls and this one just, it works. And these curls, for some reason, are like bionic. They last through anything. Like, you can sleep on them and they will still be there. I don't know what it is about this wand, but it's magic. That's what it is. It's magic. So the next wand I'm going to talk about. Okay, so you know, coupon codes are not a big deal now. Everybody has them. All brands use them. But back in the day, there was one brand, and it was the first time I had ever seen a coupon code or anything like that on YouTube, and it was literally everywhere. And when I say they gave coupon codes, I'm talking about like 50% off coupon codes. And this was a brand that everybody knew. I'm going to say the name, and you're going to be like, oh my God, what happened to them? Because every single YouTuber had this coupon code. Everybody talked about this. Like, there was no one that wasn't talking about this. The New Me. Remember? Oh my gosh. Hold on, I still have the box. The New Me interchangeable heads. This, to me, when I first saw this back then on YouTube, was revolutionary. You could change the heads out for different sizes. It was more compact. It was better for travel because you didn't have to travel around with a bunch of different like wands and stuff, because now you had this one wand that could turn into a bunch of wands. Want big curls, want tight curls. It had it all. And with a 50% coupon code, it was like nothing, right? Because it was like $300, I think, or like some amount like that. But they sold it for like $150 with the coupon code or whatever. So yes, side disclaimer, I actually didn't buy this for myself. I got this as a Christmas gift. I got this from an ex-boyfriend, and I had complained and like begged for it pretty much, and I gave him the coupon code and I showed him the YouTube videos. Obviously, it outlasted that boyfriend. So, great quality. I mean, it worked. I love it. I still, honestly, this is the wand that I use the most regular. When my hair was a little bit shorter, I was using the like tighter curl one, and now I'm on medium. When my hair is a bit longer, I use the big one. It creates the most bouncy curls, just beautiful. Not this is my natural hair, but this is my natural. Look at, like, my hair did some things today. I don't even know like what I did special to it, but it like curled so beautifully today. I only had to touch up 1 or 2 pieces. But this is pretty much my natural hair. So, but this one creates like the most beautiful, soft, like bouncy curls. However, this one creates bionic curls that will never come out. This one they do fall. But do you remember New Me? Does anybody else, when I said New Me, was like, oh my gosh, New Me. Everybody had it. Everybody had a coupon code. It was everywhere. Where are they now? Nobody knows. This next one, hold on, I gotta pull it out here. Give me a sec. I should have been way more prepared for this. Okay. So this next one is not gonna come as some big shock to anybody. I mean, okay, how am I even gonna go about this one? So, we always think that we're so revolutionary, that everything that comes out is so new. So when this product came out back and it was everywhere, I remember just like looking at all the girls on YouTube doing their hair with it, and I was like, oh my gosh, I need it. Beach waves. Beach waves. It was everywhere. Everybody wanted beach waves. And so I got a crimper. Oh my god. Okay. So the reason that I'm like not having words for this is because I'm going to tell you guys a story. So when beach waves and all of that first started, like this was it. Like, this is what you got, okay? And I was like, it's so revolutionary. It's so amazing. I'm going to have beach waves all the time, which, I mean, I could have braided my hair and got beach waves. I don't really know why. I felt like a crimper was absolutely necessary, but I bought this. I was like telling my mom about the cool beach waver and how like innovative and like I was gonna look like a mermaid. And I brought it home and my mom was like, so you got a crimper? And I was like, no, it's a beach waver. And she was like, no, honey, it's a crimper. Been around since the 80s. I was like, no. Like, look at this thing. Like, this thing is way more than a crimper. It has a lock on it, okay? And it makes beach waves, not crimps. It's a crimper. I was wrong. My mom was right. It has a high, low, and on, off. And I think I used this thing twice, maybe 3 times in the past. God, I bought this. Which house were we living at? I'd say I bought this like 7 or 8 years ago. Probably 10. I got this quite a while ago. I mean, this thing is big, bulky. It just burns your hair. You are like way better off just braiding your hair. I don't know why I keep this thing. It's probably because it's just at the bottom of my thing. I never use it. I look at it and it pains me to look at it because I bought a crimper and thought that it was this new revolutionary thing, and it literally just was a crimper. So I'm so sorry about this light change. I don't know what's going on outside. It might, whatever, we're just gonna keep going. So the very last thing that I am going to talk about, so do y'all remember, okay, so how are we gonna sideline here? Super shock, well, okay, two last things. Super shock shadows first are the first thing that I want to say, because super shock shadows kind of led me into this next product. So super shock shadows were individual shadows that are like super spongy, and like they were like glitter. I don't know. They were color pop. They were everywhere. Everyone loved them. And that rabbit hole of super shock shadows led me into the rabbit hole of individual shadows. And that led me into Z palette. Who else remembers Z palettes? I feel like nobody talks about them anymore. I feel like it's not a thing. Like, Z palette was, you had to have a Z palette for your individual shadows, so that way you can make a customizable palette for yourself to take everywhere you go. I got this far. Depotting was really hard for me. I remember there was like some kind of scandal a few years back with like the owner of Z palettes and like some kind of thing to depot things. I don't really know. But Z palettes, oh my gosh, they were everywhere. Everyone had it. Everybody had their own custom palette, you know, that they had all their custom shadows that they used all the time. And I mean, ColourPop still has individual eyeshadows that you can put in here. And I think Makeup Geek was the other one that she had a lot of individual shadows. I know at the time when these were big, Anastasia Beverly Hill did that as well. I don't know if they still do. And I never hear anybody talk about individual shadows. It's always about launches of like palettes and stuff. So, I mean, ultimately the concept of this was great. I mean, I still think that it's really great. However, I never really buy individual shadows. Like, if I buy things, it's usually in palettes, although it would make sense to do it because normally I only use 1 or 2 colors out of like a whole palette. Oh my god. Edit that out. I usually buy whole palettes even though I only use 1 or 2 shades out of a palette, so this would definitely save on that. I always just thought, like, the way when this was big, I thought stores were going to start selling individual, like, little things. And I think Target sells Makeup Geek, but I don't know if they sell the individual shadows. I've never really seen that, so. Do you guys still have a Z palette? Where's yours? Mine's purple, clearly, but yeah. So these are all the things in the past like kind of 10 years. I'm sure there's more if I like look around my house. Or there's like a bunch of things that I threw out because they got old. But this is what YouTube made me buy over the past 10 years. And the things that I kept, the things that I like, the things that I feel emotionally attached to, you know. But yeah. Thanks for watching. I hope that you like this kind of content. I was literally just sitting because TikTok's now making me buy things, which thanks TikTok. And then I started thinking about all the things that I bought because of YouTube. And then I started thinking about all the things that I bought that because of YouTube that nobody even talks about. These were such big items, products, you know, launches back then. But I don't feel like we have that anymore. Like, I don't feel like we have new and exciting launches for hair and makeup the way that it was 10 years ago on YouTube. Like, I definitely watch things and I'm like, oh my God, like, I can't wait for that to launch. Nowadays, I'm like, oh, I've seen that, been there, done that. I don't know. That's just me. I mean, the thing that I probably was most excited for was last week's video, which if you haven't checked out, I'll put a card here, was the Sky High mascara. And I really, really thought it was gonna do magic. Did it? No. But that's probably the last really big thing I've been in. Oh, nope. Take backs. ColourPop's Valentine's Day collection, which I may have bought some of, and you may see that in an upcoming video. You may not though, because they are being really weird. Anyway, but yeah, that's where I'm at. This is what I bought over the past 10 years because of YouTube, because of YouTubers that swore by it, loved it, talked about it. All the YouTubers that had it, this is it. This is what I got. So I definitely want to know what you guys bought, what YouTubers made you guys buy. Obviously, Jaclyn Hill still makes me buy things to this day. I can't watch her channel at 2 in the morning with a credit card or accessibility to my Amazon account because she just, the way she talks about things, I just want them. And then Tati Westbrook back in the day too. I wish she'd come back to YouTube because, man, I loved watching her reviews. Anyway, comment down below the things that YouTube made you buy. Let me know if you still have any of these things as well. Are you emotionally attached to an Urban Decay palette or a palette? What was your first big makeup purchase? Like your first expensive brand makeup purchase? Let me know. Let me know in those comments below. Well, thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys next week. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and that like button. It helps with the algorithm. And I will see you guys next time.